You are not confused. You are sealed. There is a difference, and tonight the difference stops being hidden from you. Chosen one, there is a question you only ask when the lights are off and nobody can hear you think. You asked it again recently. Why does it feel like everyone else received instructions for their life, and mine came with pages missing? You have carried that question so long it stopped feeling like a question and started feeling like a wall. Tonight, the wall becomes a door. Because there is something that has been kept from you, deliberately, for years. And the keeping was not cruelty. This message exists because the keeping is over. Before we are done, 3 things will happen. You will finally understand what was actually hidden, and I promise you, it is not what you assume. You will feel the moment the seal lifts, and I mean feel it, in your body. Because truth of this kind does not arrive as information, and you will know precisely what to do in the first 24 hours after a seal breaks, because that window matters more than most people ever learn. Stay with me here, because I am not talking to everyone tonight. Messages like this scatter across thousands of screens, but they land in only a few rooms. If the hour is late where you are, if you almost scrolled past and could not, if the title felt less like marketing and more like being called by name, then you already know which kind of room you are sitting in. I need to frame something before we go further. At certain moments in this message, I am going to put words to what the heart of God sounds like on this subject. Understand these as the pattern of his voice drawn from Scripture, not a private prophecy I claim to have received for you. Anyone who claims a private hotline is selling something. What I can give you is the pattern, and the pattern is enough to change your life tonight. Let me start with a symptom so specific it will feel like I have been reading your journal. When something good starts happening for you, a promotion, a connection, a breakthrough, a part of you braces instead of celebrates. You have learned to expect interception. Good news arrives and your stomach tightens, waiting for the catch. Because in your history, the catch always came. You call this being realistic. Some call it anxiety. Here is what almost nobody tells you. That bracing is not a malfunction of your personality, and it is not a prophecy of doom. It is the residue of living for years inside a sealed season, a season where things were being withheld from you on purpose, and your nervous system kept the receipts even though nobody ever explained the reason to you. There is a reason, and it has a name, and when I give it to you in a few minutes, you are going to exhale something you have been holding for a decade. For now, hold this. Withheld is not the same as denied. A vault is not a rejection. Some things are locked away precisely because of what they are worth. If your chest is already telling you this message knows you, mark the moment. Type "no more secrets" in the comments right now. Write it as a declaration, because that is exactly what tonight is. And the ones who declare it are the ones who will still be here when the seal actually lifts. A few minutes from now, when I show you what God could not keep hidden any longer. So let us open the first layer, the surface truth, the one you have probably already suspected. Yes, there have been things kept from you, doors that closed with no explanation, people who left mid-sentence, opportunities that dissolved the moment you reached for them. You did not imagine the pattern. The pattern was real, and pretending otherwise has been exhausting. The common explanation, the one you have privately settled on, goes like this. Either I am being punished for something, or I am simply not one of the ones God moves for. You have never said that second sentence out loud. You did not have to. It has been running under your life like groundwater. Tonight I am telling you both explanations are false, and I can show you the mechanism that proves it. Think about what a wise father does when his child is young and the inheritance is large. He does not hand a 9-year-old the deed, the accounts, and the keys. He seals them. Not because he loves the child less, but because unsealed inheritance overwhelms the unready. The sealing is not the opposite of love. The sealing is what love looks like when the gift outweighs the current strength of the receiver. Scripture is full of this, and I call it the mercy seal. The mercy seal is the deliberate withholding of a truth or a blessing until the person it belongs to can survive receiving it. Jesus said it plainly to the men closest to him. I still have many things to say to you, but you cannot bear them now. Read that again. Not, you do not deserve them. Not, they are not yours. You cannot bear them yet. The withholding was a measurement of weight, not of worth. Now run your history back through that single sentence. The door that closed was heavy with something you had not yet built the shoulders for. The person who left would have anchored you to a smaller version of your future. The opportunity that dissolved was scheduled to arrive again in a season when it could not crush you. You were never being robbed. You were being spotted, the way a trainer spots a lifter, taking weight off the bar until your frame could hold it. And here is what you can do with this tonight. One small act with more power than it appears to have. Take the one loss that still stings the most, and instead of asking why was this taken, ask what was I not yet able to carry then, that I am closer to carrying now. Write your answer down somewhere, you will see it again. That question moves you from the courtroom to the classroom, and everything about your posture changes when you stop standing trial. You were never the defendant in your own story. You were the student, and the curriculum was heavier than anyone around you understood. Feel that shift? That small unclenching somewhere behind your sternum? That is a decade of wrong explanation beginning to leave your body. Mark it while it is happening. Type, "The seal is lifting" in the comments. Exactly those words. Because in a moment, I'm going to show you the second layer, the one almost nobody reaches, where this whole thing turns inside out. What was sealed was never the main secret. Here is the second layer. You have assumed all along that what God was hiding was information about your life. Answers, explanations, the missing pages of your manual. That assumption is exactly upside down, and the moment you see it correctly, your entire history reorganizes itself. What was hidden was not something from you. What was hidden was you. If the heart of God were to put words to it, drawing from the pattern he has shown in Scripture 100 times, they would sound like this. My child, I was never hiding things from you. I was hiding you, the way a jeweler keeps the rarest stone in the back room, the way a general keeps the decisive move off the board until the exact hour it wins the war. Think about who gets hidden in Scripture. Moses was hidden in a basket because a throne would have ended him early. David was hidden in a field while lesser candidates paraded past the prophet. Jesus himself was hidden for 30 years in a carpenter shop before 3 years that split history. Hiddenness in the kingdom is not a shelf, it is a vault, and vaults are for treasure, never for trash. Now the old language makes this even sharper, and this is the detail that convinced me. The word Scripture uses for what happens tonight, revelation, is the Greek word apocalypsis, and it does not mean the creation of something new. It means the removing of a veil from something that was standing there the entire time. The truth hitting you tonight is not new information arriving. It is old glory being uncovered. You are not becoming someone else. You are being unveiled as someone who already existed. So the plot twist is this. All those years you begged God to reveal things to you, He was preparing to reveal you to the world. And the two timelines were never the same length. The secret was never a fact you were missing. The secret was a person, and the person was standing in your mirror every morning, unrecognized, even by you. I want to be honest about something, because honesty is the only currency I trust. I cannot tell you the calendar date your unveiling completes. Nobody can, and anyone who names a date for you is guessing at best. What I can tell you is what the pattern says about the sequence, and the sequence is unmistakable. The pressure always intensifies right before the veil moves. The confusion always peaks in the final stretch. The tears you have cried recently, the restlessness that made you click on this message tonight, these are not signs of delay. In the pattern, they are the signature of arrival. And if you have been listening this long, minutes deep into the night, that is its own evidence. The unready do not stay for messages like this. They cannot sit still inside them. You are still here, and stillness in front of truth is one of the oldest marks of the ones the truth belongs to. But now a harder question rises, and I know you feel it. If I am the treasure, if the veil is moving, why does my mind feel too tired to carry any of this? Why does clarity slip through my hands like water? Hold that question. It has an answer more literal than you expect, and it is the next thing we open. The answer to that question begins with what tonight actually is. There are hours on the clock, and then there are hours in the spirit, and they are not the same kind of time. An unveiling hour is not 60 minutes long. It is a window in which a person finally has the readiness, the desperation, and the quiet to receive what has been waiting for them. You did not choose tonight. Tonight was chosen, and you were walked into it. I call this window the unveiling hour, and you are standing inside it right now. And because you are, I need to tell you what to do with the first 24 hours after a seal lifts, because this is where most people fumble what they were given. When Mary received the most staggering unveiling in history, Scripture says she did not broadcast it. She treasured these things and pondered them in her heart. The first day after revelation is for pondering, not performing. Write down tonight what you saw about yourself. Tell no one for one full day. Let the root go down before the branch goes out. Truth announced too early gets handled by people too small for it, and handling bruises new things. If you are ready to receive at that weight, say so, where it can be witnessed. Type, "I can bear it now," in the comments. Those words matter at this exact moment because they are the answer to the sentence that started this whole message. He had many things to tell you, and you could not bear them then. Tonight you are declaring the then is over. Now, about your tired mind, because I promised you an answer more literal than you expect. Some time ago, I came across something discovered in research laboratories tied to work that received the Nobel Prize about the physical design of the human brain. A small team of neuroscientists, led by a doctor in New York who has spent over 20 years on this, found that a capacity most of us assume we simply lost with age was not lost at all. It was suppressed, gradually, by the very shape of modern life, beginning in childhood. I will tell you what they found in a little while. Hold this question until then. What if the fog between you and your clarity was never spiritual at all? Why does that matter tonight of all nights? Because knowing you are being unveiled and having the clearness of mind to walk it out are two different possessions. You can own a truth and still misplace it by Thursday. The insight stays insight and never becomes movement, and you have lived that cycle enough times to finish my sentences about it. The answer to that cycle is not in your willpower. It is somewhere most people never think to look. Let me put everything on plain ground first, because before I show you that, you deserve to hold what you have already received without any poetry around it. Here is what you now know. The withholding in your life was a mercy seal, weight management by a father, not rejection by a judge. What was hidden was never information. It was you, vaulted like treasure. And tonight is an unveiling hour, a readiness window, which is why this found you now and not last year. Here is what you can do. Ask the classroom question about your worst loss. Write tonight down. Guard the first day, like Mary did. And here is who you are in all of it. You are the one Scripture calls hidden with Christ, the stone in the back room, the move held off the board until the winning hour. That is who you have always been behind the veil. But a veil is lifting on a mind that has been running at partial strength for years. And that mismatch is the last thing standing between you and what tonight started. It is time to close that gap. In 1981, something was proven in a laboratory that most people sitting in spiritual rooms have never been told about. Dr. Roger Sperry received the Nobel Prize for demonstrating that the brain is two hemispheres designed to operate as one, and that when they synchronize, the mind enters a state researchers call whole brain activation. In that state, clarity, learning, insight, and creative connection stop being occasional visitors and start being residents. Here is the finding that should make you sit up. Around 98% of young children test at what classifies as creative genius level. Among adults, fewer than 1 in 1,000 still do. The capacity does not die. It gets buried, year by year, under schooling that trains one hemisphere and starves the other, screens that fracture attention, and stress that locks the mind in survival patterns. What you call fog is, in a very physical sense, a veil. And, like every veil in your story, it was placed by circumstance, and it can be removed. A woman from California described the before better than I can. She had tried every practice her community offered: prayer, journaling, meditation, and kept hitting the same ceiling. She believed the words, but could not feel the reality behind them. 10 days after finding what I am about to describe, she said something cleared, like a channel that had been blocked, was suddenly open. Not because she finally tried hard enough, because the receiver had been repaired. A woman in Manhattan carried something heavier. Her family had a story about themselves, a wrong star, a generational shadow. 22 years her father gave to a company that folded right after his promotion. She assumed the shadow was her inheritance. Then the pattern broke. Warmth returned to her marriage. Recognition found her work. And she said the thing her family called a curse turned out to have a neurological address. That is because of what the team I am about to describe spent years building. A group of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Daniel Barone, a neurologist in New York City, took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology, the kind used in specialized medical settings, and refined it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. 8 minutes a day, headphones on, eyes closed. Nothing else. They call it the Genius Switch. It is not a meditation app, and if you have tried soundtracks before and felt nothing, this is a different mechanism entirely. Built from the Nobel Prize research of Dr. Sperry to resynchronize the two hemispheres and restore the whole brain state that was your factory setting as a child. The Genius Switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who just spent an unveiling hour receiving truth and refuses to let that truth dissolve into fog by the weekend. Colleagues told Dr. Barone it would be fair value at $500 next to neurofeedback machines that cost thousands. It was released at $49, and today on the official page it is $39. His team has been clear that the price will rise, so the number you see tonight is not a number to assume tomorrow. 4 free gifts come with it: a guided visualization, a grocery guide on the foods feeding your brain fog, a manifestation classic, more than a century old, and a print of 5 habits for your ideal future. All of it sits under an unconditional money-back guarantee. Listen once or 100 times, and if it does not do for you what it has done for over 18,000 people, every dollar comes back. One warning worth naming: tracks with similar names float around everywhere, and most contain no neural sync technology at all. The only verified source is the page linked in the description and in the pinned comment. If your spirit confirms it, that is where it waits. Read everything there before you decide anything. And so nothing gets distorted, hear this. The tool does not replace God, does not ponder for you, does not obey for you. What he unveiled tonight stands, with or without it. But an unveiling deserves a mind clear enough to carry it. And the deeper current of tonight is where we return now. Come stand here with me one more time, because I want you to see something before we seal tonight. Picture an evening 1 year from now. A table, warm light, a few faces that matter. Someone asks you a question, and you answer without rehearsing, without shrinking, and you catch a look moving between the people who knew you before. They are noticing what you have stopped hiding. Later, walking to your car in the dark, you realize the old bracing is gone. Good things have been happening for months, and your stomach never once tightened, waiting for the catch. That version of you is not a fantasy, and it is not another promise to brace against. That is simply you, unveiled, 1 year of unsealed living later. The distance between you and that table is not luck, and it is not favoritism. It is a veil that started lifting tonight, and a first day guarded well, and a mind kept clear enough to walk in what it saw. Small faithful steps, taken in the open instead of in hiding, stack faster than you think. The hidden years compressed enormous growth into you. The open years get to spend it. So before the final words, close your eyes if it is safe to do that where you are. Breathe in slowly and picture a veil of grey cloth hanging between you and a lit room. Now watch a hand draw it aside, without effort, the way a curtain moves at dawn. Step forward in your mind and hear this as you cross. What was hidden was never withheld from love. It was held in love, until tonight. Notice what your shoulders do as that lands. That release is your body signing the receipt. If the heart of God were to speak over this moment, the pattern of his voice would sound like this. My child, the waiting was never silence. I was working in the dark, because the dark was the only place deep enough to build what you are about to become. Hold still now, my child. The seal is coming off. We pause here, grateful. Not grateful that the hiding happened, but grateful for what the hiding protected. The years underground were not stolen years. They were root years, and tonight we stop grieving them. Now breathe with me, because this release needs your lungs, not just your ears. Breathe in and gather every wrong explanation you ever accepted about your delays, every whispered, maybe, I am just not chosen. Hold it. Now breathe out slowly and let the whole architecture of that lie leave with the air. Do it once more, deeper. What leaves on that breath does not get to come back with the morning. And now stand and receive who you have been the whole time. You are the treasure the vault was built for. You are the stone kept in the back room, brought forward at last. You are the one who could not be told, until you became the one who could bear it. You are not late, you are timed. You are not forgotten, you are unveiled. If that is your name now, write the receipt where heaven and strangers can both witness it. Type, the scroll is open, in the comments. And if a face came to mind tonight, someone sitting inside their own sealed season, mistaking mercy for rejection, send them this quietly. You may be the hand that draws their curtain. Gently press like so it finds more of the hidden ones. You walked into this message asking what was being kept from you. You walk out knowing you were the thing worth keeping. The truth did not just hit you tonight. It found you ready. It is sealed.